What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Today we're going to focus in on the revival of four of the teams in the original six, or not even a revival, the sustained success, we'll call it, of four teams in the original six, and the bright futures ahead for at least three of those teams. Probably all four, but in terms of young players and the prospect developments they have going on. Without further ado, out of the top five teams in the league, four of them are original six. Detroit is leading the way with 65 points. The Rangers and Breeze are tied with 64, and the Blackhawks got 64 as well. St. Louis is the other team in the mix at four, at the four spot, and they're not the original six, but the added on six, so that's pretty cool to see. I like seeing St. Louis do well. They're a team I've always had a soft spot for. I don't know why. I think it was my first Bruins game I played St. Louis, so and they got a great logo, by the way. But obviously Detroit's the class of the original six, class of the league. They're the New England Patriots of the NHL. Every year they're in the mix for the Stanley Cup. They've got great players in the system, and you play their style or you don't play at all. Mike Babcock's one of the best coaches in the league, and it's not like Belichick where you either play our style, which is a two-way sound defensive game, or you don't play here at all. And I think that's great. You see guys like Datsuk and Zetterberg, who have otherworldly offensive skills, and they're still back-checking, making the little plays, winning face-offs. Datsuk wins a Selke almost every year because of his takeaway abilities. He's unbelievable. There's a whole other level that him and Zetterberg and all those guys are on because of the two-way game they play, and that's what separates Detroit from all the rest. Is that not only do you have these guys that can score, but they can do everything else, and it's pretty cool to see. And I think what's Detroit's 15th in prospect rankings, according to Hockey's Future. They got some pretty good, bright young talents coming up through the organization. Brendan Smith, the University of Wisconsin defenseman. He's got a bright future. He's had some off the ice issues and suspension earlier on, but he'll grow through that. When Lidstrom hangs him up in a few years, I'm not going to say he's going to be a successor to Nick Lidstrom because, let's be honest, there's no successor to Nick Lidstrom. But he'll definitely have a great future in Detroit, and he'll definitely fill a void. Gustav Nyquist, former University of Maine standout, great young offensive player, doing his tutelage in the AHL. Another kid like that is Thomas Tatar. He played in the AHL at 18, and he's still a few years away from being a full-time player with Detroit, but 21 years old, he's got a bright future ahead of him as well. And Riley Sheehan out of Notre Dame. He's actually he plays the most Detroit Red Wings style game out of all of them. Two-way center that's sound in his own zone and can put up offensive numbers when given a chance in a top six role. So, like I said, Detroit, they've won 4 cups in the last 12, 13 years, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with for the next little while. Even as the guys get older, the other thing is free agents will take less money to go there. Marian Hossa is a great example. People want to be a Red Wing, and they're can't say I blame them. They got it down pat, and if you want a chance to compete for a Stanley Cup, you go to Detroit. But focusing on the Rangers now, they're probably surprised in the NHL. I'd say them in Florida. I think people predict the Rangers to be a top 4, top 5 team in the East, but they're having the best record in the Eastern Conference is wow. Henrik Lundqvist, as always, is a big reason for the success. They bringing in Richards was obviously a big thing, to set up Gaborik. But him and Gaborik both having great years, but not even playing together, which goes to show you the depth they have. And the old saying goes, these aren't your father's New York Rangers. In the 90s and 2000s, the Rangers are spending all this money on big name free agents that weren't playing their system, weren't playing hard, and really left a lot to be desired in terms of the effort department. And they're not playing like that anymore. They got the Richards. Brad Richards is given, I think he got in every shift. But even beyond that, Brandon Dubinsky, Ryan Callahan, guys like that give you everything they have on every shift. And it's great to see as a fan. They love guys like that in New York. They love them everywhere. Especially cities where you got to work hard to be successful. And if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. A little Jay-Z reference. But I really love watching the Rangers play. I love John Tortorella. Fellow masshole with a foul mouth, as we all got to see on 24/7, and anyone that's ever seen him coach can read his lips, and it's usually a lot of 4-letter words in there that start with F and SH and other great words. But he's a great coach, and the Rangers also have a very, very bright future ahead of them. According to Hockey's Future, they're the 13th ranked prospect pool, and I'm very intrigued by some of these prospects. Chris Kreider, for example, speed. I've had the privilege of watching this kid play at BC. Speed, shot, and size, 3 S's, and he's got all 3. Predicts to be a Billy Guerin type forward, which he played for every team in the Atlantic Division but the Rangers, so get to see him there. But then they also have a great young nucleus intact. Like I said, Callahan, Dubinsky, Stepan, Del Zotto, Ryan McDonough, guys like that are they got great young players on the roster, and they got great players coming up through the system that are going to make the Rangers competitive for years to come. I think this could be the year for them. I think they're the only team that can beat the Bruins in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, anything can change in a 7-game series, but they're the only team that can beat the Bruins. Speaking of the Bees, they're tied with the Rangers with 64 points. Obviously, the Rangers won the showdown on Saturday in OT, but them and the Rangers are equal in almost every way. 64 points each in 46 games. The Bruins had a little bit of a hiccup to start the year, but they were predicted to do well. Obviously it's the reigning champs. That's part of it. Timmy Thomas has been a great reason for their success, as always. So is Tuga. Clothesman, obviously been himself coaching. And, they've got 2 great first lines, and that's Bergeron line, the second line to start the year, has one of the best lines in hockey. Bergeron's got to be considered a front runner for the Selke. Tyler Seguin's breaking out, and Marchand's being a fucking rat out there that can score. You really can't beat that. Nah, I really love seeing that as a Bruins fan. I love that line. There's a lot of speed and creativity out there, and leads to a lot of scoring chances. And the Horton Krejci line's been better as of late. Horton Krejci Lucic line. So, if they can get those 2 lines clicking, and they got a great third line, and the fourth line gives you a ton of energy, you're golden. I can't see them not repeating if those lines are all clicking and Thomas is keeping the puck out of the net. In terms of the Bruins' future, they're 16th in Hockey's Future, which I think is a little misleading because, like the Rangers, they've got such a great young nucleus in place. Marchand, Bergey's 26, Lucic is 23. Krejci's 25, Sagan's 19, Marchand's 23. They got so many great young guys that kind of the prospects, they got some good prospects. So Dougie Hamilton is probably the best defenseman outside of the NHL at this moment. Jared Knight predicts to be a great top 6 forward. Jordan Caron plays a great north-south game and is really exciting to watch. And Ryan Spooner and Alex Kovalchev both have top 6 potential. So they've got some really, really bright prospects in that organization. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do at the next level. And finally, the 4th team in the original 6 successful 4 teams this year. Obviously, Toronto's been up and down, and Montreal's been, let's just say, non-good. Non-bien. I think it's not good in French. I don't know. French is not my strong point. Neither was any foreign language for that matter. I speak masshole. The Hawks, 64 points in 49 games. They've got, they've played more games than the rest of them. But, they've been playing great as of late. Last year was a little bit of a hiccup year. Some injuries, and obviously they lost a lot with the dumping guys off the salary cap and all that shit. Losing Bufflin, Ladd for Beauty. Guys like that hurts. Niemi. But they really made some strides this year and have improved their team. They're tougher to play against, with Steve Montador and the other one, Sean O'Donnell. They had Carcillo, but he's out for the year. Not weeping for him. But I'm really excited about what Chicago's got. They, like everyone else, they've got a great young nucleus. Kane, Taves, obviously. Nick Leddy's turned into a preeminent defenseman. They got some... and then the prospect pool. Like I said, Hockey's Future got them ranked at number 10. I think that's I don't think that's fair. I think they got more prospects than they would do it. And like I said, with the young nucleus in place, Kane's 23 and Taves is 23 as well. So they got some great guys. Jeremy Moran, I've been intrigued by him. Natural goal scorer, won a goal at the World Juniors a couple years ago. Marcus Kruger's been up with them this year and has played in the top 6 roles here and been successful at it. Mark McNeil out of the Western Hockey League is almost a Ryan Getzlaf type player. I'm really, really intrigued by him. And Dylan Olsen, former Minnesota Duluth standout. They got so many young guys. Brandon Saad is even in their top 5, and he played 2 NHL games this year. Saad brings you some sandpaper and some offense, and I think he's going to be a great complement to Kane and Taves on the line. Jimmy Hayes is up with them, pride of Dorchester, and he's playing well. I mean, like, they're stacked, and I think Hockey Future are really screwed up right in their prospects, But I think Chicago needs a third-line center for the cup, to make a run at the Cup, and I think they'll go out and get one. I think Dominic Moore of the Lightning will be a good fit with them. He plays a good game. That would fit in real well with the Blackhawks. I don't know what else there's to say. I think it'd be awesome if the both conference finals were, if in the East it was the Rangers and Bruins, and in the West Chicago and Detroit. I'd love to see that. Anytime you can see the old-time hockey teams playing well is great. But that's pretty much it for this episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season and more special editions like this one. Later, guys.